congratulations on your son, but we're all very impressed with your son as a person. How did you come to raise a person who, I think, at a very young age, is an admirable icon? And that, you could say that about very few people, regardless of age.
Well, me and my wife, we both had the same ideals about what we wanted to accomplish in life, and we knew that being in the military, both of us, wasn't going to have a lot of the luxury time my mom and dad had, because in the military, as you move around, the day I step into that post, I go to work.
Right.
But I have to make sure I have everything squared away, so if something happens with work, I can't get home, someone is watching Robert. So we had to really do a lot there. So we work, more than 12 hours a day, of course, leave early, come late. But the time that we spent with Robert and my daughters, it was our time. I exclude a lot of friendships unless they was on the same level, and we were 100% to the family. So when we did bring friends around, we all did family things together. So we stayed there, and that really helped us. That showed Robert and my daughter that we were all in for them. And anytime we did things, they knew they were going to benefit. The one thing I really wanted to do, and I felt we accomplished it, was that we wanted to stay attracted to Robert and my daughters. So when they got into high school and they wanted to go different places, and my wife said, no, we're going this place, we never had any problem with all three. They followed us because they know we were always going to do something that was going to be good, was going to benefit them, and as a family, we was going to rejoice about it. So that was important.
What was your rank, excuse me, in the military?
Sergeant first class.
Sergeant first class, okay. From that standpoint, you guys, a lot of kids who come through here, and I use the term kids, but a lot of young men who come through here in the NFL draft, they come from, broken homes, single parents and all that. How gratifying is it that, Robert comes through here, he had both his parents in support, and kind of break that whole stereotype and all that?
Well, to me, important, it's tough to say it's important because everybody that I know, they're married. Everybody that I know, everybody I put Robert and them around, very few people. Very few people that ever put him around that was not. It wasn't by choice, just the way how we took care of business. I can't speak for everyone else's situation, but for my situation, me and my wife was all in. We made a decision. Once we had children, our life made a change. Once Robert left in 2008. We went back to where we were when we first got together. We did everything together. We didn't eat. We didn't cook every day. We went out often. We did things. Me and her wasn't rushing anymore. Whereas like if we were in the airport and they decided that someone don't want to give their seat up, we were like, hey, you can have ours. We're not in a rush anymore.
Do you think maybe we play that up too much because the media does, and the reality is that there are a lot more folks like Robert, you know what I mean?
Well, I think it's sometimes a good story. Sometimes there's some credibility to it. I'm just glad that I'm just glad that I was able to be the person I was, with my wife, as far as with our children, and we do stuff to try to keep promoting that. Media, I can't really speak on that because I have never traveled in that shoe. I grew up mom and dad, okay?
Right.
And I had an expectation. I wake up in the morning, I need money. Hey, Dad, can you help me out? I left home, mom and dad was there. And, Robert and my daughter, same thing. We have that one inner group connection with the fact that we all, believe in family. And that's very important to us.
My cousin is a late Fred Lane Jr. who played for the Panthers and the Colts. His parents, my aunt, talked to him about the right people, but he actually ended up being shot by his wife. Have you talked to Robert about how to judge the right person? And because he's a magnet right now.
Right. Well, the thing I just tell Robert that number one, remember faith first, because the most important thing is that when everybody else fails, God is still there for you.
Yes, sir.
And for him, character person-wise, one person make a change. It wasn't a very, one person, it doesn't take a lot. You go in a situation, and people want you to do certain things, the hair go up on your neck, that's to tell you, hey, this is not something that's out of my comfort zone. Just tell them straight up, hey, this is not in my comfort zone. They're going to accept you. I mean, I have never drank alcohol in my life. I went into the military. Everyone around me, that was that culture. Kids grew up, I'm 18 years old. These guys have been drinking since they were 15 with their parents. Guess what? That was a shocker to me. And I lived in one of the worst places in New Orleans. But yet, I did not get caught up with that. And so, some people didn't want to be with me. I was designated driver for a lot. And it kind of worked out, so.
As a father, what's the most important thing you instilled in Robert that translates onto the football field or the classroom? Because I understand he's a good college student and all that. What's the most important thing you told him?
To me, it's the golden rule: do unto others as you want to do unto you. That's important to me. I tell him, he's no bigger than no one else. The guy that has to come out there and sweep that trash up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you respect that guy. Like you're gonna respect the owner that pays that salary, because they both are human. And as long as he don't underestimate anyone, he's gonna do great.
Was there a point in in his life where you said, okay, I know this kid's gonna be something special on the athletic field and what have you?
Yeah, we were in our church league. We went to Christian House of Prayer in Copper's Cove in Killeen, and we were we had a youth basketball league. It was co-ed, and Robert was 9. And he was playing a different division, and we had our older kids were 10, 11, and 12. And after each season is over with, we get all together and make an all-star team. Well, a couple of coaches, because I was the director, so a couple of coaches wanted Robert to move up. I said, but these kids are 12. I said, no, but he got the skill set. So we was getting them all together, working all the kids out, and the team came from Killeen to come do a little scrimmage, and our kids were scared of them. And coach put Robert in the game, and Robert went to work. And then he made a move like Dr. J, and I'm saying to myself, I ain't never seen Dr. J do that. I was like, I kept talking to my wife for like a week. I said, did you see what Robert did? And I was showing her the move Dr. J did against Kareem and Magic. And I was like, I was shaking my head like, my goodness, how did he do that? And he was 9, and the kid was like pushing 13. And Robert maybe had been like 5'5", and this kid was like 6'3". And I was just like, wow. And the coach was coaching, because some coaches see good talent, they try to like put them all together.
Right.
And the guy, they said, man, he called me, I want that kid on my team. I'm like, nah, he'll stay where he at.
Let me ask this. I get that. You want to be a lawyer?
Yeah, Robert wanted to be a lawyer. Initially, so we were looking at a lot of schools as far as law, for law for him. But initially, it was medicine, doctor. And he came on one day, thinking like a 10th grader, said he wanted to be a lawyer. And he was telling us why. He understands logic like my older sister does. And I'm like, okay, and I can see Robert in corporate law. He never wanted to give a hint to it. That's why initially we were going to send him to Houston. Houston had a lot of corporate crime. And a lot of crime. So internship was going to be easy. You're going to learn a lot on the run. So, yeah, a lawyer. And he still has that idea.
You'll be a lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why
Trust me.
That's why I asked him about
politics. Got to have your
politics.
facts right with Robert.
Yeah, that's why I asked him about politics, because he's got that in him. I
saw him smile.
Yeah, I can see him being a senator, congressman.
But the thing about it is, to me, I think the good politicians at the local level. Once they get up, it's so much they have to do. I understand. You get a high post, senator, something like that, and the next day you're trying to keep that job. So, if Robert was a politician, I think it would be a better at the lowest level, because you can be more genuine and you don't have so much. Even though it's getting a little tough there too, but not like in Washington and other places.
So, like Alan.